Hey folks, Driller here. Just wanted to do a first review of the Remington 700 PCR SB Shorty, aka the Remington 700 CP in the States. It's a 12.5-inch barrel 308 rifle, basically a shortened down, cut down version of the Remington 700 PCR. Let's get into it here. So I just took it for the first day out shooting and had a blasty blast. I love short barreled rifles, they're a ton of fun. I'm going to go through some things that I've added to the rifle. You can probably see them, muzzle brake, stock, optic, and bipod there. And we'll go through kind of some of the stock stuff here. So first off, let's just kind of go through the rifle here. So again, it's just a cut down Remington 700 PCR with a different buttstock. It actually came with a Magpul MOE SL stock, but I changed it out for my MOE stock here just because I can use a cheek riser and it lets me get up to my optic here. Works just fine. I'll probably switch it out for a Magpul CTR so that I can put use my QD sling stud in it, because this one, the MOE, regular MOE, doesn't have a QD mount built in. But yeah, otherwise that's pretty great. The rifle comes with a 10-round AICS mag, comes with a tactical enlarged bolt handle, which is nice, especially with this optic mounted. And then it doesn't come with a muzzle brake, but I put a SNB hardware 7.62 fluted nano brake. So it's just a 7.62 nano brake, just with some flutes in it to make it ever so slightly lighter. I think you save like an ounce or something off it. It's not much, but whatever. But yeah, it's great. It's a linear compensator. If you can see, let's see if I can get it to focus here. So you can see there's just a bunch of different holes here, and they just direct the gases out just a little bit, and it just directs the blast away from the shooter. And for when I'm at the range, it directs the blast forward so that it doesn't bother my neighbors at the shooting range. What it does result in is a little bit of increased recoil probably, but I mean, this is a 308, it's nothing crazy, so I can handle it just fine. My shoulder is a little, probably really mildly bruised from shooting about 40 or 50 rounds there. I think I shot about roughly 40 rounds. But that's fine. It's mostly just the shooting positions I was in were not optimal. But yeah, so you got this full handguard here, which I like because it protects the barrel. So if you drop the rifle and stuff, it's not gonna like scratch up your barrel, things like that. You can mount accessories to it. I've got a Magpul QD sling swivel bipod on here, so I have a QD, an M-Lock QD sling swivel attached, and then the bipod attached to that. I had the bipod laying around, so it's pretty good bipod. It doesn't pan, which is really annoying, but it does rotate. You know, it has the rotation, and I can adjust the length of the arms and all that, and it does flex enough that I can rotate it a little bit, but it doesn't pan at all, unfortunately. The rifle comes with a pretty high Picatinny rail. I'm actually going to probably eventually go with a worn 0 MOA rail. They are a little bit thinner. This one's made out of aluminum. The worn ones are steel, and I'll probably cut this height here in half. So I'll be a little bit closer. My height over bore will be reduced by, I don't know, maybe like 1/4 of an inch or something like that, which would be helpful. Height over bore is my fault. I put an Elcan OS4X on here. I think it looks really awesome myself, but I'm sure there'll be people that don't like the look of it. It's fine. Each to their own. I didn't just buy it for the looks. I bought it because it's a great optic. It's, you know, it's basically indestructible, and it's made in Canada. I'm Canadian, so I like to support local if I can. So it's a fixed 4-power prism scope with a chevron reticle. I'll insert some pictures or video of the reticle in the video as well. But it's a great optic. The optics are very clear, very high quality. It comes with an arms mount. So yeah, you can basically take it off, put it back on, should hold 0 just fine. What should we talk about here? It comes with a Magpul Myad grip, which I actually like. It's better than the MOE. It's a little bit more full in the hand, which I like. It's not vertical, obviously, but I've actually had a vertical grip in the past, and I wasn't like a huge fan of it, to be honest. It was okay. I'm sure someone will come up with like one that's adjustable to go from vertical to a little bit of an angle like this at some point, and that'll probably be the ticket. Because the different shooting positions kind of demand different grip angles, in my opinion, if you're being picky about it. But so far today it was shooting really good. I wasn't getting any stellar groups. My shooting positions weren't amazing either. I was shooting from sitting positions and things like that. But I think my best group was a 3-shot group, and I think it was, oh man, I think it was just under an inch. And then best 5-shot group I think was like an inch. I think it was like an 1.75 inches, which doesn't sound that great, but I'm not shooting from a bench. Mind you, I'm shooting from kind of strange positions, just kind of for fun. I was more or less just sighting in the rifle today, and then shooting at different ranges. I shot at 100 meters, 200 meters, and 300 meters. I could make hits at all distances, and as you might imagine, shooting from a sitting position, my misses were increasing as the distance increased. I think when I was shooting at 300 meters, I was hitting probably 2 out of every 10 shots, but I'm trying to figure out my drop on the reticle, because I don't have a chronograph with me, so I don't really know how fast my loads are going. I was shooting some 168 grain hand loads that I just had laying around, and then shot some 150 grain. It's actually, I think it's more like 145 grain or something like that, but it's a Hertenberger surplus ammo, the German stuff, and it did fine with both. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this rifle. It can do a lot of rolls, can do the self-defense roll for camping, can do the hunting. This is perfect for hunting. I'll probably insert some pictures in the video. A buck actually walked up into the field and stopped 100 meters away from me, so it was a very good test of seeing what the buck would look like in the reticle and stuff. And I just what I basically did is I just took the scope off and just looked through the reticle, and then took some pictures through it of the buck. So yeah, it's going to make a really excellent hunting setup, and it's actually really good for close range, even though it's 4x. You can make some pretty good snapshots at like 20 meters or whatever, so that's really awesome. But you can also reach out with this. I think probably I'm going to be reaching this thing's limits at probably 500 or 600 meters as far as making like fairly precise shots. But the glass is so clear that I'm not really sure about that yet. I won't know until I kind of stretch it out that far. Where I am, I should be able to set out up to about 600 meters. So once I kind of get some ballistic readings figured out and stuff, I might start doing some shooting at that distance just for fun. But yeah, you'll see that later. But otherwise, super impressed with this rifle, and I'll do a review of the